Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. This is week 3 of the Fort Worth Fabric Studio American Made Sew Along. Last week we made the stars. You can see them on the wall behind me. This week we're going to make a whole bunch of half square triangles. So let's get started. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go over and grab the pattern if you haven't done that yet for this week. And then you're going to want to grab your 8-inch squares, your reds, and your print with the little arrows on it. And we're going to make a whole bunch of half square triangles. We're going to make 56 half square triangles. So you're going to use all 7 of your 8-inch red and your 8-inch white with the arrows on it. So the first thing you're going to do is lay these right sides together, which the red is a solid, so there's really not a right or wrong side, but make sure you lay the white face down. And then we're going to do the 8 at a time method. So we're going to draw a line corner to corner diagonally, going both directions. And then we're going to sew a 1/4 inch on either side of the line that we drew, or both lines that we drew. So we're going to draw a 1/4 inch here, 1/4 inch here, or sew on and then on either side of this line as well. Okay, so that's step number 1. And you're going to want to do this with all 7 pair. It's a lot of half square triangles. Okay, now that we've gotten all those sewn, we are going to cut through the center of this vertically, horizontally, and after you've cut those, then we're going to cut on either line that we drew. I'm going to pause there for just a second because I'm about to cough. I've got some allergies going on and don't want to cough all over the video. So I'm going to get a drink and I'll be right back. Got that drink, feeling better. It's allergy time, or allergy season here in Ohio, so lots of sneezing and coughing and yeah. Anyway, that'll go away in a few weeks, which I'm excited about, and because the weather's getting warmer. So here I am, ready to cut this, and this block is 8 inches square, so I'm going to put my ruler on the 4-inch mark, and I'm going to cut right down the center. And if you have a rotating cutting mat, now's a good time to use it. If you don't, that's okay too. Just try to move yourself and not the fabric if you can. That'll make it easier to get these more precise. So I cut it vertically before, and I'm going to cut it where the horizontal was, which I've turned it so now it is vertical, but you get the drift. Up and down, left and right, and then we're going to cut on the diagonal. And I just shifted them a little bit. It's okay, I'll line them back up. There we go. Okay. Now, set that stuff aside for a minute. So you should have 8 half square triangles. So we're going to iron these guys, and you can, I don't know if there was pressing instructions. Let me look in the instructions really quick. But I would definitely press these to the red. Does it say? No, it doesn't say which way to press them, but I would definitely press them towards the red. If you press them towards the white, that's fine, but you may have red show through your white, and we don't want that. So I'm just going to give them a finger press before I actually press them with the iron. I had somebody ask me why I do this. It just seems to make them iron better or press down better when I finger press them first, because I've already like kind of made the fabric go in the direction I want it to, so it behaves a little bit better. Turn my little space heater off so you guys can hear me. Forgot that was on, sorry about that. My studio is in the basement of our home. It's a finished basement, but it's still a basement, so it gets a little colder than the rest of the house. And now that it's getting warmer out, I don't know if anybody else's spouse does this, but my husband likes to freeze me. Okay, those are all finger press, so now I'm going to give them a press with the iron. And we are going to have to trim these down. They need to get trimmed to 3 inches square. So after we press all of them, we're going to trim them down. Now if you have the Clearly Perfect slotted trimmers, you know that you can trim them down before you press them, or if you have a block lock ruler, that will help as well. I'm just going to use a regular ruler because I know there's a lot of you out there that don't have the specialty rulers, so I'm just going to do it that way for the purpose of this video. But if I was doing these off camera, I would probably use my Clearly Perfect slotted trimmer. That's my favorite ruler for trimming half square triangles because it makes them the right size before you even press them, and it also cuts off the dog ears. So a little bit quicker and easier with that ruler, but like I said, I like to show it with just any old ruler because I know a lot of new quilters don't have all those specialty rulers. So the block lock rulers work as well. They're not my favorite, but that's because I think I got used to trimming with not only the Clearly Perfect slotted trimmers, but just a regular ruler for so long before I had a block lock that I just don't necessarily reach for it. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's just I'm not used to it as much as I am the others. So the block locks are a little different than, they have like a channel down the middle which will sit up against your seam that you've sewn, so that is nice about that one, and it helps as a guide to where to cut your pieces. But again, you don't need any of these specialty rulers. You can use a regular ruler, which is what I'm going to do for this. Okay, got those pressed. Move this guy out of the way. Now to trim. We're going to trim all these guys down to 3 inches. So I'm going to put my 45-degree diagonal line right on my seam line that I've sewn and trim these down. There's quite a bit extra on these, but I don't mind. I'd rather have extra than them to be too small. So if your sewing got a little wonky, no fear, plenty to trim away, so you'll have nice square blocks. Now when we put these stripes together, pay really close attention to the diagram. There's 2 different kind of stripes. They're using all the same fabrics, but they're arranged in different ways to make 2 different types of stripes. So just pay super close attention to that. You know, we couldn't do a table runner that had stars without some stripes for American made. Gotta have stars and stripes. And like I said, you're going to make 56 of these. So don't feel like you need to sit down and do this all at one time, because it's going to take a minute to do that many. And also don't forget to post your project or your progress pictures in the Facebook group for Fort Worth Fabric Studio. I will link both the Facebook group and the PDF or the link to this week's instructions in the description box below this video. I always put them there, but just as a reminder. This is our last week of making pieces parts. Next week we're going to assemble all this, so I'm real excited about that. I can't wait to see what this is going to look like. Two more. After you get all these done, you're going to combine these with the 3-inch solid squares of the white little arrow print and the 3-inch red with the floral print that's left. And we're going to use these half square triangles and those prints to make these stripes. You're going to make 4 of each color stripe. So lack of a better way of saying it, we're going to make 4 red stripes and 4 white stripes. And once you look in the instructions, you'll understand what I'm saying, because 4 of the stripes start with a red square and 4 of them start with a white square. So that's what we're going to call them. Okay, let me get rid of all this. Put my rotary blade away. And then we're going to lay this out. So I'm going to show you, I did pre-sew a couple of them. Not all of them, but a couple of them. So this is going to be the red stripe, and that's the start of the line. And so we're going to do a red square, then a half square triangle, a white square, and then a half square triangle turned the other way. So, and it's going to repeat that pattern all the way down, and you're going to have 14 pieces in each stripe. So this one's going to start with a red and end with a half square triangle. This is the red stripe, or the one I'm calling the red stripe. And let me grab a white stripe, because I made one of these. And as long as there's 14 pieces in each of your stripes, then you are correct. So this one starts with a white solid and goes to the half square triangle. So last one started with a red solid and went to our half square triangle. This one's a white, and then follows the pattern, same pattern, all the way down. Okay, so let's make one of these together. I'm going to make a red stripe. So I'm going to put a red here. And just make sure you're looking at your diagram really carefully. But if you're following your diagram, you should be just fine. And the pattern repeats itself. So as long as you remember that the pattern repeats itself. So this one's red, half square triangle to the top, white, half square triangle to the bottom. Then you start all over again. And I don't have enough room to keep going there, so I'm just going to pile it under here. Red, half square triangle to the top, white, half square triangle to the bottom. Okay. And then a white. And then half square triangle to the bottom. Oops, I'm sorry, did I get that wrong? Nope, that's correct. Okay, then a red, then a half square triangle to the top, I think I did mess that up, sorry guys. Okay, red, half square triangle, white. Half square triangle, red, half square triangle, white, half square triangle. Ah, that's where I messed up. Red, half square triangle, white, and then half square triangle, and then red, and then half square triangle. Yeah, okay. So let's sew this guy together. I'm going to take all these to the side. And like I said, make sure you follow your diagram. Okay. A little difficult because there's not enough room to lay out a whole stripe here. But I'll kind of show you as we go too. I'm just going to sort of finger press these as we go. Let me make sure I press them all the same way as I did the other ones. Okay, yep, okay. Now what I'm doing is I'm pressing all my red ones one way and my white the other way. I haven't seen the final pattern yet, but I'm going to assume when we do it, we're going to put a red stripe and then a white stripe and a red stripe and a white stripe. That's just a guess. So I'm going to go ahead and press them opposite directions. So all my red stripes I'm going to press to the left, and my white stripes I'm going to press to the right. Okay, so after that we need to add a white. There we go. And after that, we're going to add another half square triangle. So red, half square triangle, white, half square triangle. And it's going to keep repeating that. Then we're going to do a red, half square triangle, white, half square triangle, all the way down till you get to 14. So I'm adding a red. And after the red comes the next half square triangle. And it's going to be in the same pattern as this. So red, half square triangle, the red part's on the upper left. So I'm going to add this one to the upper left. And then a white. And then another half square triangle down here. And then another red square. Love this red floral. It's very Hawaiian looking. Okay. Now another half square triangle. And now a white. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 12. Don't forget there's 14 squares in each striped row. So I'm on number 12. And I'm adding my last red square. That's block number 13. And my very last piece in this row, oops, is block 14, which is a half square triangle. Okay, so starts with a red. Copy goes to the same pattern. You should have these that look like diagonals. That'll help you to make sure that you're doing it right. If they all kind of start right up here and go to right up here. So that's row 1. Like I said, starts with a red floral, ends with a half square triangle, and they're all going the same direction. So you're going to make 4 of these guys, and you're going to make 4 of the ones that start with white. So you're going to do white, half square triangle, red, and the pattern's going to repeat just like this one did, except we're going to start with a white instead of a red square. So it would be like starting here and going on. So as you can see, eventually when we sew these together, this is going to make a nice stripy diagonal pattern. So make sure you make 4 of the red, 4 of the white, and that's it for this week. But I've got a lot more half square triangles to make, so I'm going to get sewing and I'll show you my result. Well, that took a little bit of time. That was a lot of half square triangles, but as you can see, I've gotten them all done. Got all my stripes assembled and it's looking really good. I can't wait till next week to see how the stars and the stripes all fit together and what the table runner is going to look like. Before I go any further though, I do want to say Happy Memorial Day, as it is Memorial Day today as the video is coming out. I do have some military in my family. My grandfathers both were in World War II. They have since passed. And this is a good day to stop and remember them and anybody in your life or any soldiers out there that fought for the freedoms that we have in this country. So yeah, this is an important day and I'm happy that I'm sewing something patriotic on this day. Alright guys, well thank you so much for sewing along with me. It was a fun, quick, well not quick, half square triangles weren't quick, but it was an easy week. The half square triangles were easy, they were quick. So I hope you'll get these done and join me next week to put this together and see how this all turns out. Take care and have a wonderful week, and I hope you get some great family time today. Bye!